How you guys doing? It's 514 Mystic from BookieBullies.com, and it's a little something I like to call the rundown. So we're gonna run through all these plays for both hockey and basketball, and we're gonna see what we like, what has value, and try to cash. Yesterday did a show, lasted about 20 minutes, and we went 7 of 11, so it was a pretty good day. But I wasn't too pleased with it because Indiana ended up losing a game. They blew a lead. Um, could I bet on them at the spread? I put the money line, which was a heavy dog. But still, these guys were up about 19 points at one point, and they ended up blowing the lead to the Raptors, who fought a really hard-fought game. I could talk about the same thing with the Dallas game. We had Dallas and the correlated parlay. The game did go over, but Dallas did not cover that spread. Matter of fact, they ended up losing outright and allowed a 21 to 3 run in the third quarter. That pretty much sealed the deal for them. They were already down like about 5, 6 points going into that quarter. So we were looking for a big burst, which they got, and then they ended up going on a 23 run. Memphis did, and ultimately Dallas ended up losing. Then they had that big game in Chicago versus Boston, and that game went to overtime. Matter of fact, I believe it went to shootout. But either way, it was a 1-1 game up until the end of regulation. Pretty intense game. I'm not too disappointed about that, but it could have gone either way, which I thought it could, and this is why I had Chicago. But today, it's a new day, so that's enough ranting for me, and we're gonna get right into this, starting from the top. So we got the Anaheim Ducks. They're going to be facing off against the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal filled with injuries, and they're not actual injuries. They got the flu, so everybody on the team pretty much got the flu. Carey Price is not playing. Um, Shea Weber is not playing. So there's a bunch of guys who's not going to be playing, and for some reason, Montreal is favorite tonight. They're favorite, a heavy favorite actually, and 66 cents on your buck. Totals at 5.5. Not convinced about that total at all. Carey Price is playing. He's got the flu, but he's gonna play. Look at that. Look at that. So Kerry, yeah, yeah. So they can. There's the reason. He still has the flu though. But Carey Price is gonna be playing tonight, despite having the flu. Anaheim is really not that good, but nor is Montreal. So neither of these teams are really that good. I don't really have a play as far as that goes. It's gonna be John Gibson at net for Anaheim. He's putting a 2.96 goal against average. Carey Price 2.75. 911 save percentage for Price, and he has 3 shutouts under his belt. So he's not looking too bad. But I don't really have a play in this game. I don't really like betting on shit teams. If I had to give a play, I would probably roll with the Anaheim Ducks, but I'm gonna stay away just for the sense this the safety net, just as a sense of security. A lot of games to go into, so not gonna waste too much time on garbage teams. Next, we got the Detroit Red Wings. They're gonna be playing against the Buffalo Sabres. Sabres, they're also heavy favorites today. Couldn't tell you why. Um, obviously the Red Wings are not that good, but nor are the Sabres. Like, you have all these trash teams as super favorites, as if something special is supposed to happen. But again, this is not hatred. This is just me talking from what I'm seeing here. Red Wings, Red Wings, they've lost. They lost quite a bit of games. They're gonna have John Bernier at net. They lost quite a bit of games. They're on a 9-game losing streak. Um, it's not looking too good for them. They've been filled with injuries, poor guys. Like, it hasn't been easy for them. It hasn't been easy for a lot of these teams. But they're going to be going up against the Buffalo Sabres, who's going to have Jonas Johansson at net. Um, and he's actually played really well in the AHL, but he doesn't have a record this for as far as this goes. So he's going to go up to the big leagues. And the last time they seen each other was about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and Buffalo ended up blowing them out 5-1. I won't have a play in this game. It's not. It's really not playing enough for Buffalo, and I would rather not. I'd rather not invest my money in anything like that. Next, and just so we're on the same page, 145 favorite is for Buffalo, which is even heavier than Montreal. And if you ask me, they have even a less of a chance to win than Montreal does. But what do I know? Next, we got the Kings versus the Islanders. Islanders paying 150 on your buck. 5.5 is the total. I think this game kind of goes over. Um, the juice is on the under, but I believe this game goes over. I think the Kings get an early goal in this one. and then the Islanders storm back and end up blowing things out of proportion. They got Thomas Greiss at net. He's 14-7 and 2 on the season. Jonathan Quick is just god awful. He's 11, 20 and 2 on the season, allowing 3 goals a game. So if you're allowing 3 goals a game, and you're facing a New York team who's they're trying to make a push still, they're fourth in the Metro, and the Metro is like a really tough division. The Metro and Atlantic are two tough divisions in hockey. So if you're trying to win games, you need a win like this one. You need to beat a team like LA, which is one of the bottom feeders. But like I always say about this time of the season, especially after the All Star break, you can't depend on all these trash teams to keep on losing. It's not something that you can depend on. But LA is very bad. They're 1-5 on the road in their last 6 games. The game's actually gone over in 6 of their last 8 versus New York. And New York, in their own respects, they're 1-4 at the spread at home. And when I talk about the spread, I'm talking about the puck line. They went over in 4 of the last 5 games when they play at home. I really think that there's some value at the 5.5 because, mind you, a lot of times when New York is playing, the 6.5 is the initial total. And so I actually like the over 5.5 in this situation. And I think I'm going to roll with it. Next, we got the New Jersey Devils versus the Flyers. Flyers at home playing against the Devils, who are just not good. They're just not good. Flyers, one of the best teams in the league at home. The discrepancy is tremendous. They're coming off of a big game where they actually won on the road the other day. So, shout out to them for that one. They're playing against a Jersey team who gives everybody a hard time, man. Yes, they're horrible. Yes, they have a bad record, but everybody gets a hard time against Jersey. Nobody covers the puck line against Jersey. But you know what? Philly covers the puck line every time they're at home. Almost every time. They have, if they don't cover the puck line, it's probably because they faced off against a really really bad team. Just to say, they're 5-0 at the spread in their last 5 games. The spread being the puck line, 4-1 straight up in their last 5 overall. The unders actually hit in 4 of the last 6, and at home, to put what I just said into perspective, they're 9-1 at the spread being the puck line at home, 9-2 in the last 11. And meanwhile, Jersey, they're 4-1 at the spread in their last 5 games. This is what I'm saying. Yes, they're a bad team, but they cover spreads. The over is hit in 7 of the last 10, so we have a discrepancy between the over and the under. But Jersey's 1-5 at the spread in the last 6 games when they're playing versus Philly, and this is not even the same Philly team as now, And they typically go under. So in 17 meetings, they've gone under 12 times. I really like Philly here, at minus 1.5. I even like Philly to go under in this game, but the discrepancy is too real for my liking, so I'm gonna stay away from the total and just give you guys the puck line. Next, we got the Pittsburgh Penguins playing against the Lightning. Lightning, heavy favorites today. Well, actually, not heavy favorites. They're just favored. I would say the Pittsburgh Penguins are heavy dogs. It's more the thing to say in this situation, paying a whopping 250 on your buck for the Penguins to win. Tampa Bay's paying 58 cents on your buck. It might vary between 40 and 65 cents, or sorry, 40 and 75 cents, depending on the book that you're using. 6.5 is the total for this game. I don't like Tampa Bay to cover the spread, and I love the plus 1.5 in this situation because it's paying such a handsome amount, giving me 160. So I like Pittsburgh to cover the plus 1.5. Um, but yeah, they got Matt Murray at net versus the Big Cat Vasilevsky, and Dumoulin is injured, and we know that. Buckstag's injured. Gunstel, Cahoon. That's pretty. Like, anyways, they're very heavy favorites today. Tampa Bay is, and I don't buy it. So I like the plus 1.5 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Next, we got the Vegas Golden Knights. They're going to be facing off against the Florida Panthers. Panthers, I'm a big fan of the Panthers. Vegas, not that great on the road. Panthers paying 205 on your buck. I love the road, the home dog in this situation. They got Bobrovsky at net, 20 and 13 on the season. Fleury's going to be playing because Vegas is really not that good on the road, so they're going to try to get as many road wins as they possibly can, and they're going to roll with Fleury to try to accomplish that. 6.5 is the total, and there's a nickel fade, or about a dime fade of the under. So most people are rolling with the under in this situation. I don't buy it. I really like the over in this situation. I don't buy a under in the Vegas versus Florida game. Yes, Fleury is good. Yes, Bobrovsky is good, but both of these teams score goals. Florida's 5-1 at the spread in their last 6 games, 7-2 overall. Um, at the money line, the overs hit in 7 of their last 10 also for Florida. And Vegas, well, Vegas 4-2 at the spread in their last 6 on the road, but they're 3-7 in their last 10 games overall. I don't see why they would be such heavy favorites today. Not heavy, but like why a team like Florida, who's quite frankly trending in the right direction, if you ask me. Like, they're trying to get wins, they're trying to make the playoffs. So, and they're third in the Atlantic, which is probably the toughest division that to play in. Last time they played, they lost versus Columbus in a tight game, 1-0, which would probably explain why most people are thinking the under. I like Florida in this situation and the over. Next, we got the Colorado Avalanche versus the Ottawa Senators, and we're halfway through this NHL board, short to the NBA. Colorado, they're heavy favorites today, 47 cents on your buck versus Ottawa, 6.5 is the total. If you're not putting a Colorado minus 1.5, don't put your money on Ottawa. Sure, they could win. Sure, bottom feeder might not going to keep on losing. Still applies here, but no, I'm sorry. Don't put your money on that. Even the total, Colorado could easily go over by themselves, or they could score 6 goals and stay under. No play in this game. Next, we got the Vancouver Canucks versus the Wild. I love the Wild as underdogs. Sorry, I love the Canucks as underdogs. I'm a big fan of the Canucks. I love how they play. They play as a team. They're young, and but the fact that they're young causes them to lose hella games. So some games that they're supposed to win, they don't know how to do it because they don't know how to step on your neck. That's a youth problem, and maybe a coaching problem. But I would say it's more of a youth problem because the team has to go out there, the players have to go out there and execute on the ice. You couldn't do it. The coaches, their play only goes so far. Like, you know what I mean? You still have to execute. Um, 205 to 1 on your buck for the Road Dogs. 6.0 is the total here. Minnesota seems to be, well, Minnesota, they won their last game. They played versus Chicago, but, who is Chicago? They're not that good, honestly, Minnesota. Like, they win a game, they lose a game, they win a game, you know. So I would love to go with Vancouver in this situation. This Markstrom at net, he's going to be going against Stalock, and Stalock, he's been all right for Minnesota, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to roll with Vancouver. I have a lot of plays today. That's ridiculous. I don't like to have so many plays. It's kind of makes me feel, like I'm just, anyways, whatever. Like if I feel it, I feel it. But it seems like I have a lot of plays, and a lot of them seem to be underdogs. But I do like Vegas, Vancouver as underdog in this situation. Next, we got Winnipeg versus the Blues. Blues, their favorite, 50 cents on your buck. 6.0 is the total. The game could easily go over, but the Blues, as they're the defending champs and they've been playing really well on the road. Bennington's at net. He's gonna be going against Connor Hellebuck. I'd love to put the game under. I really would. I'd even love to put the Blues to cover, but I'm worried. I'm tremendously worried. Not sure if I should be. Last time these guys played each other was on the first, and Winnipeg ended up winning the game. So this is kind of a revenge spot for them. It was just about a week ago when they played. It was just under a week ago when they played. So I think it's a revenge spot for the St. Louis Blues. Maybe they return the favor and win by covering the spread, but maybe Winnipeg just has their number. And let's check that out just real quick. St. Louis 10-1 straight up at home in their last 11, so amazing. They're 1-6 at the puck line when playing against Winnipeg at home. So there's your number right there, and they're 3-9 in the last 12 when playing versus Winnipeg. So Winnipeg just seems to have their number. Um, be wary. If you have St. Louis, just be wary of that. I don't have a play in this game. I like the minus 1.5. Big lean on that, but no play in that game. Next, we got the Arizona Hurricane versus the Arizona Coyotes. Carolina, not my cup of tea. Arizona, since getting Taylor Hall, I don't know, they took a step back. They had such a great identity. They used to go under all the time. They had big games where they won games. I don't know if they changed who their focal point of the offense is, but I don't really like what I'm seeing here. You got Antti Ranta at net. He's a 2.80 goal against average, 917 save percentage. He's going up against Peter Mrazek, who's an absolute beast. Peter Mrazek, he's a monster, man. That guy, you put him in front of the net, he's like a psychopath. He blocks everything. And Carolina's not even the best team. Like, what in their last 10 games they're 5-4-1, so they're like 50%, just above 500. But man, like I don't know. I would honestly like as underdogs here. I would honestly put Arizona as underdogs here, and it just seems to me like the right thing to do. Do I do it? I don't know. Let's see if we can find a reason not to do it because honestly, I like Arizona as the underdogs here. I don't. I'm not quite sure what Vegas is trying to do to me. I'm sure there's something that they know that I don't. But because all these underdogs couldn't possibly win. But when they're so close, when it's a 205 and things like that, because mind you, in hockey is very different than in basketball. There's no spread. The spread is always a 1.5. So if it's the puck line being the spread, it's always a 1.5. So it can be a 6.0. It can be a 5.5 or a 12.5. So they adjust those by giving you different numbers for they give you different numbers for the odds. So let's say a team is favorite, they'll be favored by a certain amount of points depending on who the public is betting on. And when the public is betting too much on one team, they start to try to balance it out with fading of the other team. But that doesn't necessarily work when you're dealing with hockey because a lot of times you have garbage teams and people are fading the good teams because they think that the garbage team is due. I feel like this is one of those situations. But according to this stat right here, Carolina is 9-3 in their last 12 games versus Arizona. So maybe they have their number. They're also 6-2 on the road versus Arizona. So maybe that's another factor. Arizona, in their own respects, 1-5 in their last 6 games. So this is what I said. Since getting Taylor Hall, I feel like they took a step down. Excuse me. They haven't been as gritty. But the under has hit in 4 of the last 6. So maybe the under is the right thing to do in this game. 5.5 is the total. Let's roll with the under and not necessarily hope for the best because they're pretty much an under team. You could buy the hook and go up to 6.0. So under 6.0 to make under 6. So 6 would be a push, but I like the under 5.5 in this situation. Something's got to give. Next, we got Nashville versus Calgary. No play in that game. Both teams are shit. And we got San Jose versus Edmonton. Edmonton is not paying enough money for me, so I'm not going to roll with them either, and I'm not going to put a puck line for Edmonton. Now we're going to get right into the NBA. Short of the NBA, crazy day in the NBA. A lot of trades happened. Andre Drummond is on the Cleveland Cavaliers now. Poor guy. You got Markieff Morris or Marcus Morris. I always get those guys mixed up. Who is now on the Clippers. Isaiah Thomas got traded from the Wizards to the Clippers, who are planning on waiving him. That also happened. And all kind of other crazy stuff. D'Angelo Russell is now one part of the biggest deal there. He's now with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And Andrew Wiggins is now on the Golden State Warriors. So a bunch of things happened today, and we're gonna get right into some sports betting. So Orlando Magic's their favorite 4.0 against the Knicks. Knicks obviously going to be a little bit depleted today. Magic's just lost yesterday to Boston, which we gave you the spread for. Boston covered. So this is a back-to-back situation for the Magic. 206.5 is the total. I like the under in this situation. I do. The Knicks shouldn't be able to score too many points. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but I like the under 206 in this situation. Next, we got the Pelicans versus the Bulls. Pelicans should be able to blow the Bulls out. I'm sorry, it shouldn't be that complicated. The Bulls, if they're over team, are the Bulls an over team? I don't know. Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you if the Bulls typically go over or if they stay under. There's certain teams that just register in my head, but the Bulls is not one of those teams. So the total's gone under in 4 of the last 6 games for New Orleans. And the Bulls is over, 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 over. They're also 0-5 in the last time they. So, anyways, Pelicans all the way. If you'd like to put the under, feel free, but it looks like the Bulls are just an over team in general. So, no play on the total. Unless you put in the over 230.5, no play in this game. Outside of the minus 5.0 for the Pelicans. I like Pelicans to cover today. Next, we got the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Bucks. Bucks 9.0 favorite, 227.0 is the total. Philly just can't buy buckets on the road, man, but they show up for games like this. I'm going to put the over 227 and not take the spread. Recently heard Al Horford say that there's some problems in the locker room in Philly, so be on the lookout for that. No play at the spread. To me, it's Bucks or nothing, but I like the over 227. Next, we got Portland versus Spurs. Spurs have LaMarcus Aldridge come in to play his old team. Can you really even say that? I mean, it's been like 3 years already, 4 years already since the guy hasn't played on Portland. It's Damian Lillard's team. Lillard time is today. Spurs didn't seem to make too much impact at the trade deadline. There's probably still things going on now, but apparently the deadline was 3 o'clock, and then I heard some about 4 o'clock. So maybe it was 3 o'clock Central Time, but pretty sure it was 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So, anyways, 228.5 is the total. I love the over in this game. Maybe the game goes under. I wouldn't put it past these teams, but I can't possibly take under in this situation. These guys just don't do that. It's not something they do. So you got to be very wary of that. And holy crap, that brings and Portland is favorite. Me honestly, it'd be Spurs or nothing, and the Spurs have disappointed me a couple times. Um, and not even betting wise, like just watching the game thinking they're gonna win, and then they ended up blowing the lead. Like for the most part, I think when we bet on the Spurs, we win. Like for the most part, you got to give them credit for that. But it's not all bells and whistles. It's not all roses. Last but not least is the Houston Rockets versus the LA Lakers. LA is 7.5 favorite versus Houston, who have no big man. They're big depleted. They got PJ Tucker playing that big. They're probably gonna, in their mind, they're probably saying, well, Russell Westbrook is going to be our big man. He's going to get us those boards. He might as well because he's averaging these triple doubles, right? I'm sorry. Give me the Lakers minus 7.5 to cover that spread. Should be easy money for the Lakers. Easy money. With no big man, Lakers have so many bigs and the Rockets have none. All they got is Tyson Chandler. I don't even think he's playing. Should be easy pickings. 238.5 is the total. You know what? Let's check real quick to see if Anthony Davis, because he had a hard fall a few games ago. So let's check to see if Anthony Davis is playing in this game. If he's not, I'm not totally convinced. But yeah, he's still playing. He's playing. And Westbrook is questionable, so he might not play today because he has that thumb injury. Good luck. So give me the Lakers minus 7.5, and that'll be it for me. So, anyways, just before I go through the Bookie Bullies rundown, I'd love for you guys to go ahead and smash that like button, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're posted anytime I post videos like these. So, start from the top. Got the over 5.5 in the LA Kings versus the Islanders. Got the Philadelphia Flyers minus 1.5. Got the Pittsburgh Penguins plus 1.5. Got the Florida Panthers money line. Got the over 6.5 in the Golden State versus. Did I say Golden State? Over 6.5 in the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Florida Panthers. Got the Vancouver Canucks money line. Got the under 5.5 in the Carolina versus Arizona game. Got the under 206.5 in the Orlando versus the Knicks game. Got the Pelicans minus 5.0. Got the over 227.0 in the Philly versus Bucks game. Got the over 228.5 in the Spurs versus Portland. And got the Lakers to cover that 7.5 spread. That'll be posted on my Twitter. Um, Yesterday I posted on my Twitter before game time, which is not usually something that I do. I did it as a treat because I've been off of Twitter for about 8 days, but in the same time, it's not something I do. I'd rather you guys come through over here, give me a little love, come and spend a little time with me, maybe give me a like, give me a view, and help me out, just for the YouTube algorithm. But I did post the plays yesterday just before game time. So, anyways, that's pretty much it for me. Like I tell you all the time, please don't bet what you can't afford to lose. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. Don't attempt to get rich overnight. It's just not going to happen. You run the chance of getting rich overnight, yes, by getting some live plays. If you follow me on Twitter at 514 Mystic, I'll give you all those live plays that you have, all those live plays that you need, high playing live plays. But mind you, the risk is higher than the reward because you'll potentially lose your money. So again, don't bet what you can afford to lose. So that's pretty much it for me. And be safe, be good. I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace out.